Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video of mine. I am very excited for this week's video. It's a video I've been meaning to film for quite a while now. Someone asked a question or gave a video suggestion a few months ago saying that basically if I would have moved to the Netherlands like right now, what would I do differently? And to give backstory, I am living in the Netherlands now almost 7 years, which is crazy to think about, and gone through so many things. I'm on my third employer, third company that I work for. I made so many friends. I'm engaged to a Dutch guy, and then I'm a citizen. I'm a Dutch citizen now, so I naturalized. Is that how you say it? But anyways, I have a Dutch passport now, so a lot has changed, and I'm gonna try to give tips for if I look now back to my life when I just made those choices to move to the Netherlands. It happened end of 2018, so I moved, I think I flew from South Africa the 26th of December, and then I arrived the 27th of December in 2018. And yeah, a lot. I lived by myself, I lived with people. Like, there's so many, like, I feel, experiences that I had. So if you have any questions on, I don't know, living with someone abroad, finding your own place, buying a house. We also ended up buying a house this year. If you have things on, you know, immigrating, on finding work, friends, family back home, like, yeah, anything, can't speak, anything relating to yeah, going abroad or making certain decisions, like, please comment it down below and I can try to make a video on any of that. And then again, this video is based on my experience. For every person it will be different. Some people made certain mistakes or certain decisions. I made certain mistakes, certain decisions, and this is purely just my experience, and none of these things are also that groundbreaking. I was definitely very lucky and privileged that everything went quite well with me coming from South Africa to the Netherlands. I did a lot of research. My parents lived in Germany for 3 years when I studied, so 3 years before I moved they lived for 3 years in in Germany. So I definitely, like, just had already experiences and knowledge from that, and then I did my own research, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and then also spoke with a lot of people that lived here in the Netherlands. So with all of that said, I'm gonna jump into the video. I tried to make a list on a paper if you do see me looking down, and like I said, none of these things are necessarily that big. These are just the things I was thinking now, and it's also such a long time ago where I was like, oh, like, I wish I would have known this, or like, if I knew this I would have maybe made a different decision. So yeah, just bear in mind it's not necessarily like, yeah, that new of information, but also I will film a video in a few months when I've been here for 7 years and just reflect on my 7 years here. I think I did it last when I lived here for 6 or 5 years, so I like doing those videos as well. But let's jump into the video. First things first, I think the first 3 or 4 of them are a bit more thinking when you in South Africa or whichever country you are before you move abroad. But my first thing that I wouldn't say did wrong, but was not needed, is I called my bank in South Africa and asked them for euros, like cash, because I thought I would need to have cash. And I mean, in a way it's maybe good to have it if you don't have a bank card that immediately works in, I'm just gonna, for my example, use now obviously the Netherlands. My tips are on the Netherlands, but in case your bank cards maybe don't work in the Netherlands or Amsterdam, maybe it's a good thing then to have a little bit of cash on you. But all my cards used, and I didn't have, like, I just had standard bank cards, and all of it worked in Amsterdam, so technically I didn't need cash. So I can still remember the bank delivering it to me, and I had like 1,000 euros on me. It was way too much. I didn't need that, and I had to get like rid of it. And it's also easy, once you get a bank account in the Netherlands, you can also just deposit that cash, of course. But it's just a small tip. If you want to bring money, bring maybe yeah, or cash, maybe bring like a very little amount, because I think, yeah, with today's technology and everything, you should be able to use your bank card here. And you can also just check with your bank if that South African bank card works in the Netherlands, and then you'll anyways probably open a bank account in the Netherlands. Sorry, my tongue is not like cooperating. The second one is a underbridge birth certificate. Now, I had my underbridge birth certificate with me, based on research and just hearing from people. I knew, like, just bring it with me and then I have it. But in order to use it or give it here up in the Netherlands, you need it to be apostilled, and you can read up on the internet exactly what that means. And yeah, I had to pay quite a bit. I can't remember exactly how much, but I had to pay a company, send it off with, I think it was with FedEx or DHL to South Africa. The company took care of it, got my underbridge birth certificate apostilled and got it sent back. But it was such a like nervous timing because I needed it for my Dutch passport, and that's a document they either take once you register here in the Netherlands, but with me they didn't take it then, so then they take it when you actually want to become a Dutch citizen. I'm not 100% sure for any other reasons you would need it, because yeah, before trying to become a Dutch citizen, I never was asked for it or needed it for anything, but maybe other people needed it for, yeah, other things. So that's one thing I would say, is make sure that if there's any documents you need for whatever reason, make sure you you know, apply for it in South Africa, get it apostilled, and then you're good, and you save just a lot of money, and also just stress in sending those documents in the post. So that's definitely a tip I can give. And also, if you maybe want to make use of a company, I can always just comment in the comments below, and I can always just give up the company name and maybe the person I worked with when I did mine, because everything went smoothly and the communication was great. So I can definitely recommend the company. And it also didn't take that long. I think I paid for like speed services, and I think everything was like done in like 3 weeks or something. It was, yeah, quite quick, but obviously you pay for that. And then one that's a little bit less like, yeah, like a tip, like a lot of people know, like if you were to move to the Netherlands in the end of December, it's in the middle of winter, and I was definitely stingy on my money. Well, the thing is, I had to be, because I did not have a lot of money to move here. Like, yeah, I didn't have a lot of money. So I held on for years before I invested in a winter jacket. I literally only did that last year. So in 2024, I moved end of 2018. I only then invested in a proper winter's jacket that's long till almost like, oh, it's in the middle of my shin, a rainproof hood, like warm, cozy, comfortable. And it cost a lot of money. I think on average jackets like that are good quality that will last years are probably between 300 and 500 euros, depending on which brands you look at. But yeah, I always was just like, I can't think of spending that money, and I'll keep on like buying like ones that just doesn't do the job justice. Like, you just get cold, or you're wet, or this or that. But I always had excuses, and it is a lot of money. That's why it took me literally, what's it, 5 years or 4 years to buy a proper jacket. But that's one tip I can give you. Rather, like, at least for myself, I could have rather spent less on other shopping and clothes and things that I bought, and I could have rather just invested into a jacket, and it would have made my life a bit more comfortable way earlier on. So yeah, if you can put money away, maybe your first year, put like however many euros away in a little savings account, and then your second year you buy yourself a proper jacket, because that makes such a difference. And also it's like almost winter here for like 5 months, so it's really helpful. Then one big one for me, I will probably say this is one of the bigger ones for me that really got to me, is 2 things. Yeah, well, let me start with the first one. It is how to lock your door in the Netherlands. This might be very straightforward to other people, but to me it wasn't, and I definitely paid the price for it. my apartment in Amsterdam was like a hotel door, and most apartment doors are like that, or even house doors. If you close it, then from the outside there's not a like proper handle, or there is, but you can't like enter your house again or your apartment again because it locks. You need a key to open it. And I always thought that is how doors locks, even though I had a key for my front door, but I thought that is just, you don't have to do anything further. So what I ended up doing is, when I would leave my apartment, I would just close my door. Nobody can come in from the outside because either there's no handle to come in, or if you try it, it's locked. It's like a hotel door where you need like a card or something to go back in once it's closed. And yeah, they broke into my apartment. I will try to find the video. I think I made a little video about it and I will link it up here. But they broke in. It was, I can't even remember when that happened, but quite early on, like maybe 3 months or 2 months into living in the Netherlands. So it was quite a quick thing, and all my valuables were stolen. I only came with valuables to the Netherlands, literally 1 30-kilogram bag and my hand luggage. That's all I came with, and it was all my like top-notch things, and everything was stolen. The only thing that wasn't stolen was my laptop, which I'm very thankful for. But for the rest, my vlogging camera back then, everything was stolen with my footage. That person probably looked at my videos. Anyway, so that's definitely a tip I will give, is make sure your door is actually locked. And then on that, I also did not have insurance for my things inside of my home. And I guess that's also part of just becoming an adult. I never thought of it in South Africa because I always rented an apartment with furnished things in. I don't know, I didn't have that much valuables. And at some point in your life, like, you can determine for yourself, you need to determine, you know, do I have valuables in my house? Is it worth it for me to get the insurance? Is it not? But looking back, I wish I did have the house content insurance. Like in the Netherlands, you don't pay necessarily that much for it. I'm not sure how much I pay now, but I think back then maybe I paid like 10 euros a month when I ended up getting it. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. If you have any questions and I'm vague about, ask it below and I can like be more specific and look into it. But yeah, like actually locking your door when you leave. And secondly, at the point when you feel you have quite a lot of valuables in your apartment or in your house, get content insurance, meaning if they break in, then at least certain things are insured. So that I got afterwards. So that's the other thing. And then what I would say is, just on the accommodation when you arrive in the Netherlands, a lot of people, most people won't have their apartment or their house or whatever they choose to live in. They won't have that yet. So what I did, I went on Airbnb. I also tried to do like viewings for houses on the phone, but yeah, that did not work. For me, people didn't like want to take me on as a person to view apartments because it's so popular to get an apartment. Or let me put it this way, if a listing goes up for apartment, within 2 weeks it will be rented out. So they were not bothered about me in South Africa like trying to find an apartment. So someone also just gave me the tip, like, just get to the Netherlands and then you just go on as many viewings as you can and you will find your spot. So that's what I ended up doing. I booked a Airbnb. I think it was for just under 4 weeks that I booked it for, and I made a little mistake there. Looking back, I would have like proper looked into that. Is I actually did book the Airbnb with the option to cancel it. So even if you live at the Airbnb, you are able to say, today I went for a viewing, I find out I have the place, then I was actually able to cancel my Airbnb stay, and the next morning I need to be out, and then at least you get the remainder of your money back. I just by luck, by chance, had that option, but I did not know it. So I tried to call Airbnb, like figure it out. I wasn't sure, but I was like, well, I anyways have the new place, so I can move into my new place, because I found it like a week into my Airbnb stay. And then I ended up seeing like, oh, I do get my money back. And there was like back and forth between me and the host, because they were like trying to like they were like bargaining on that money, but they also had the policy that you can like cancel your stay, so it was a risk they obviously took. But they were telling me now I can't cancel, but then their policy, I tried to look, it was very vague, the policy, but I was like, then just whatever, I'll cancel my stay. And that I ended up being correct that I can cancel it, and I stayed there for 2 extra days than I would have if I just like went with what I thought. But then the host like confused me also. But anyway, so I did leave, and I think I got like a week worth of money back, and it was quite expensive, like for someone that just come from South Africa to the Netherlands, like, you know, the exchange rate. And I didn't earn a lot back then in South Africa. I just qualified as a chartered accountant, and then you don't make a lot. I also shared house with my sister in South Africa, like I didn't have a lot of money. Basically a lot of my savings went into paying for this Airbnb. So that's 2 tips that I will give, is that make sure that if you book accommodation that you can maybe cancel it as you stay there. So if you book it for 3 weeks, but after a week you find a place, you can cancel it. And secondly, also try to not have it, like I would have also gotten a cheaper place, and maybe not in the heart of Amsterdam, but maybe like I just know the suburbs now better. But when you move here, you don't want to just like stay in any suburbs, you choose just to maybe like be more central. But I would have like lived more in the Zuidas, even Amstelveen, like it's so easy to like get into Amsterdam, rather than like more expensive areas. But yeah, if you can and you book accommodation up front, try for it to be like cancelable, especially if you're gonna try to find a place once you arrive. And then 2 things, it goes hand in hand, is sick leave in the Netherlands. From when you have your job, it is not compulsory for you to tell your employer why you are sick, that you need a sick day. Like they are not actually allowed to ask. So I very much at the beginning tried to like give so much reasoning so that this person will believe that I am sick. It was just the how do you say it, my habits from South Africa, the environment I was surrounded with in South Africa, that I felt always I had to like please and explain why I was sick. And that I actually, like at one point, like at one of my audit clients, the clients went to my partner and was like, Christelle is sick, she needs to leave and go home. But anyways, that's also probably just on me, like whatever. But I very much had a background where I felt like you need to please and explain. And when I got here, I also like please and explain, and still I do it now. My manager literally the other week was like, I had to go for blood test, and I told him like, oh, I need to go for blood test. He was like, oh, you okay? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. He was like, but just remember, you don't have to like even say you're going for blood test. You can just you know say you need to go for an appointment or a doctor. Like you can very much keep things for yourself. Which is just something small. Like I don't have to overcompensate to like let people know that, hey, I'm actually sick or feel bad needing to go to the doctor. And it probably also depends on a manager. Yeah, it can also maybe be a little bit different, but at least my experiences, I didn't need to go that far with explaining that I'm sick or need to go to the hospital or this or that. And then with that, I had a knee injury in May of 2019. I definitely had like a rough start to everything, more like everything was like planned well, but just life happened, the break-in, and I think a few months after that I had a knee injury. And there's 2 things there. First thing, I dislocated my knee, and I was like in this big black cast thing. I could barely move, and I was so scared of my employer like gonna think, I don't know, like what I was thinking. I just thought like I need to get to work the next day. I got into an Uber because I couldn't cycle, couldn't use public transport because I couldn't like move that much with my crutches. And I got into the Uber, and the guy, even though he was sweet, but he was also like, you shouldn't go to work if you're in the state, like just stay home. And I was like, yeah. I got to work. Tina, we worked at the same company then at Deloitte in Amsterdam, and she also helped me, and I sat at my desk, and I think I was there for an hour, and I was like, okay, I'm going home. And I could like stay home for like a week, 2 weeks, because I couldn't walk. So they're also very understanding with those things. It's still a little bit, I have a scar of just the feeling of being in so much pain and uncomfortable and going to work with that cast, and I'm like looking back, like, why did I do that? I think even in South Africa it's fine not to do that, but yeah, so these are more small things, more maybe just my own fault, but yeah, they're very much okay when it comes to health, mental health, physical health, or just something going on in your personal life. At least I have the experience that in most cases they are quite supportive. And with that is, if you are a sporty person, that happened with me when I was out dancing at a dance school. If you're sporty, do dance, I don't know, active, make sure you have like health insurance that you need to be in the Netherlands. That's compulsory. But I didn't take a physio in my package because, yeah, I took the cheaper option, and that was a very expensive lesson. Not only not taking the content insurance of your house, which is something also just I had to learn as being an adult, and wasn't aware or didn't know that I needed that. But then the physio I didn't have included, and I needed rehab for my knee. I lost all my muscle, all my movement, like I needed to rehab how to like use my leg again, and I had to pay that out of pocket, and I had to go twice a week for I think like 2 months. So that was very expensive. So if you have any sort of active life, make sure you have physio included, even if it's 6 sessions or whatever. And then, but that's also, I feel that it's not just moving to a different country that I made these mistakes. I think part of it is also just that, yeah, you become an adult and certain things you just don't know, because my parents were not necessarily like, oh, remember you need to have this on the big things, yes, but like some of it you also kind of just need to, I don't know, learn yourself, and some of the lessons are expensive or just hard to learn. And then 2 lighter ones actually, and then I'll end the video, is just on shopping. And I definitely want to make a video. Actually, I was thinking I will do 2 type of ones. One's with food. I want to go into like a grocery store, just like a common, like maybe Albert Heijn, or I don't know, just a like Albert Heijn is probably, yeah, the most well-known grocery store, but I can go to another one as well. And I want to like just like film what things cost, if you are quite curious in like what the difference are in like meat prices in comparison to South Africa or any other country you live in, or I don't know, the price of milk, the price of crisp, the price of alcohol, the price of, I don't know, cheese, butter. So just like random things I want to like just film and like convert to South African rand, and then yeah, I think it will be quite interesting for some people. And then I will do the same thing of like on like house goods, on like, I don't know, shampoo, conditioner, I don't know, soap, toothpaste, all those things, and like cleaning products. But the last 2 are on those. Just, I didn't know it when I moved here, but Ethos and Kruidvat, that's usually where you will buy most of the time your household goods with cleaning products, but then also like beauty products, like maybe drugstore makeup, shampoo, creams, women products. Like you will buy that there. It's like a equivalent of like a Clicks and a Dis-Chem, but just a little bit different. But those places actually have special, like I would really, if I had this, I would never buy my beauty products at Albert Heijn, any grocery place. It's more expensive. I will always go to Ethos or Kruidvat, and they always have like buy one get one free, or buy 2 for the price of this. Like they always have all these specials. Literally, I can take you now and there will be like just specials all over the place. So I will also not buy my favorite shampoo when there's not a special, because just wait like 2 days or a week and then you will pay the same price and get one free. Maybe there's some things also behind that and how they do that, but that's definitely one thing that I would only buy my things there and wait for things to be on special. And then also, just a small thing, I always just went to Albert Heijn. I thought it was the grocery store, and yeah, now I barely go to Albert Heijn. I do go there, of course, but sorry, I had to quickly delete some footage. But yeah, so there's so many different places you can go to just to save some money. You don't always have to go to Albert Heijn. You can go to a Dirk, you can go to Jumbo. Jumbo is also a little bit more expensive but cheaper than Albert Heijn, I think. You can go to Hoogvliet. It depends also on which city you are. You can go to Voermar. yeah, there's a lot of other ones, but I just always went to Albert Heijn. It was also fun and like new and whatever, but just as a tip, that if you actually try to like save and like watch your money, maybe skip on Albert Heijn and then make it your like daily place you go to. Yeah, if you just every now and again want to go in there, sorry, and buy things, then of course. But if you really want to save money, then go to like a Dirk or I don't know, places like that. But yeah, I hope this was some sort of helpful, or at least just interesting. Maybe there are definitely some things I'm missing. If I'm thinking of something while I'm editing, I will add it in. Otherwise, please ask questions if you have, or suggestion on a video. And yeah, I'm gonna go and enjoy my Saturday. And I'm always like clapping. I always see it back when I'm editing. I'm like, and then I clap my hands. Oh, there, I just did it again. Put my hands away. Yeah, I will then see you next week in a new video. Not 100% what the new video will be, but we'll see. But I hope you're having a great day, having a good weekend. I think I'll probably upload this tomorrow, which is Sunday. And then yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.